Hello everyone, hope everyone is doing great. Today we're going to be painting a Christmas wreath. Really simple, really beginner friendly, but really effective and looks great as Christmas cards. There won't be too much drawing as we're going to go straight in with the watercolour for a lot of it. So really simple, mix up a load of greens and a couple reds and that's about all you need. So first I'm just going to draw a rough circle. Doesn't need to be a perfect circle, it's a wreath, they're going to be a little wonky misshapen it, and once you put all the leaves in you won't really notice the perfect circle. And then underneath, I'm not sure whether you'll be able to see it because I'm drawing very lightly so that the watercolour can cover everything, but I do just add a bow to the bottom of the wreath. You can add the bow or you can leave it off, it will work either way, whatever is your preference. So I do just rub my line work out so that it's really faint, which does mean on the camera you can't see it at all, but trust me, it's there. Yeah, so I go ahead, mix a lot of greens, I just choose the 4 in my palette, and then we'll be doing different various foliage with those greens. So the first leaves of foliage I'm going to do are going to be really simple, just simple brush strokes. So if you hold your brush very lightly at first and then press down and then pull the pressure off, it will give a nice tapered leaf shape. Really simple. So I'm just going to go around the light circle we drew, alternating where I put my leaves and which side of the circle. And you can also do these leaves if you don't like to change the pressure of your brush or you're not getting the shape you want. You can paint them how you would normally paint, you know, if you just draw the outline and fill it in. So once that's dry, I'll get a different shade of green and basically do the exact same. Make my tapered leaf shapes. This is still a very light wash of paint, but just fill in some of those blank spaces as I want. I do like blank space in my watercolour, but I also want this to look like a nice full wreath. So again, once this is dry, we can then move on to adding in our sprigs of holly. So I'll use a smaller brush for this and I'll use my darkest green that I have mixed up. So I do the outline of the holly first and then just one line down the middle. And then with a clean but still slightly damp brush, I'll drag that dark green into the centre but leave a gap of what would be white space. In this case there might be a leaf underneath it, but just to give the illusion of a shine, since holly leaves do have that shine. And then I'll go around and just add in my holly leaves wherever I think it suits, but be conscious that we're going to add some berries in after this, so you might just want to leave some spaces that you can put your nice bright red berries. But it's the same technique for every leaf. If you want, you can maybe just do half of the leaf if only half of the holly leaves is sticking out. Okay, so now time for the berries. I'm going to choose my brightest red. I think it's alizarin crimson red. So really simple, just draw a circle, but I leave just a white space on top just to indicate the shine. I just think it's a really simple, easy method that just gives a bit of dimension. Depending on how detailed you want to be, you could darken up the edges with either dark red or maybe a purple to give a bit more dimension as well. But as this whole piece is very simple, for me I thought this was enough. And then, to be honest, I'll just randomly go around wherever I think would look pretty. Sometimes I'll do clusters, sometimes I'll just do the odd one. It doesn't need to be uniform as most wreaths aren't, which I think is another nice thing about this painting, is that it's leaves, it's natural, so it doesn't need to be perfect. Just think the bright red against all the greens really stands out and really gives that pop to the card. So that's the wreath pretty much done. If you had just done a circle wreath, you would basically do the same steps but a full circle, and that would be it. I chose to do a bow, so I'll just fill in the bow. So at first I'll just take a light wash, whatever colour you want. I chose to go with a red again just to tie in with the berries, and just fill in your shape basically. And once you've filled in your shape but the paint is still wet, you can then add in a bit of shade. So you'll just see I'll add a much more concentrated colour. And my paint is still wet, so these colours will run and it'll give sort of a loose style effect. And make sure to do near the knot of the bow where the ribbon will be tied together tightly. A lot of this painting is more indicating or alluding to shapes rather than necessarily painting the exact shape and lights and darks. So I decided here that I wanted my wreath to be just a little bit fuller, so I decided to go around and just add in sprigs basically. Nothing complicated to it, just lines of paint. But I do think it gives a nice effect, and it just makes the wreath look fuller and more Christmassy, more cosy. And then all that's really left to do is to add in the shade to the inner bit of the bow. I'm not sure what that would be called. So I used red mixed with a bit of brown for this, just to add my shade, just so that we can tell that that bit's darker and that it's a full bow. So I had also mixed up some sparkly watercolours. I feel like Christmas needs a bit of sparkle, so I'm using a sparkly green here now just to add a bit of shine, make it feel even more Christmassy. And it doesn't show on camera, but this is also a sparkly metallic red, just so that the card has a bit of a special effect. And that is it. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. hope you paint yourself and have a great day.